Billboard Philippines. Volumes.
On this episode of Billboard Philippines Volumes, we have Yen Constantino on the show. She shares her first memory with music and gives us a peek at her career journey. Let's turn up the volume on Yen Constantino.
Billboard Philippines. Volumes.
Hello everyone, this is Billboard Philippines Volumes, where we turn up the volume on your favorite artist stories. And today, we are with multi-awarded, multi-platinum artist, Miss Yen Constantino.
Thank you.
Make some noise, everyone, one time.
Hello!
This is a long time coming. My team are all official Yanksters.
Oh, grabe naman yun.
No, it's very true. We've been wanting this shoot to happen for a long time. So thank you for being with us today. We're super excited. And, you know, just to dive right into it and kind of break the ice, question that we like to do on this show is this. What is your first memory with music?
First memory with music.
Exciting.
Commercial ng Jollibee.
Yeah, go ahead.
I love you, Sabado, kahit buong linggo. I remember na nakaupo ako sa sala namin. Tapos parang 4 years old lang ako.
Wow.
Tapos, hindi ako nanonood ng mga teleserye na pinapanood ng magulang ko. Pero pag tumugtog yun, humihinto ako sa nanonood ako. I just really love listening yung melody niya, yung fun, yung visuals nun. Kasi hindi siya parang something na normal sa aming magkakapatid. Parang ako lang yung ganun. Pag narinig ko na yung commercial ng music na yun, parang tumitigil yung mundo ko. And then second one, si Bonnie Tyler na ano.
Bonnie Tyler. Okay, yes.
Turn around every now and then.
Wow. Second duet ko
I get
today.
a little bit lonely. Yung time na yun, pinapatugtog kasi ng kapitbahay namin yun lagi. Every Sunday.
That's
Na in love
awesome.
ako. So
Yeah.
parang, from then on, parang gusto ko na. Pinakinggan ko na yun. It's a heartache. Nothing but a heartache. Mga
Yes.
ganong genre na. Nahilig na ako.
One thing I've always been a fan of you and your music is that you are a singer-songwriter. And one thing that is very special about you is your songwriting. So, I would like to know about, okay, let's go to the past for a second, because I think, I'm pretty sure your songwriting process has changed through the years. But let's take it back. Let's take it even before Pinoy Dream Academy. I want to know early stages. When did you start writing music?
Hindi siya yung parang songwriting na na pinlano ko. Kasi nung bata naman ako, hindi ko alam kung ano ibig sabihin ng songwriter.
Yeah.
Ganun lang. Tapos yung neighborhood na kung saan ako lumaki, parang nakakarinig ka lang napapatugtog sila ng music. So, parang one time, nag-uwi yung tatay ko ng cassette tape. Pero sanay ako sa music na parang pinapatugtog sa radyo, di ba?
Yeah.
Makakanta ng mga tao. Yung cassette tape ng tatay ko na yun, instrumental lang.
Okay.
So, walang kumakanta. So, parang ako, ang tagal ng intro bakit wala pa rin kumakanta? Naisip ko, play yung music. Ano ba to? Tapos one day, from school, umuwi ako ng bahay. Sinaksak ko lang yung cassette tape ng papa ko. Tapos pinlay ko lang siya. I just started singing kung ano yung thoughts na lumalabas sa mind ko. Parang feeling ko yun yung start ng songwriting journey ko. Doon ako talaga natuto na i-express yung sarili ko melodically.
I hear this a lot, and it's just like, it's really instilled within you. I mean, just to like, okay, I'm just gonna put my thoughts out there. I'm gonna put some melody to it over this instrumental. And this is before like just, I'm gonna put type beat into YouTube or something.
Actually, ako pala nauna sa top lining, ako pala nauna. Oo nga, no? It's the same concept.
Oo nga eh.
Pero super bata ako na, I think, lang ako noon. Parang 8 years old lang ako. Pero yung first official song na nasulat ko, nung 9 na ako, the next year,
Okay.
doon na ako talaga nagsulat ng kanta.
Wait a second. What is that song?
I can't remember yung melody
Oo.
pero I was really 9 years old, Pero I talked about love. Parang sinasabi ko dun sa song na kahit bata ako, sorry, nakikringe ako sa sarili ko.
No, it's great.
Kahit bata ako, alam ko nang ibig sabihin ng pag-ibig.
Yeah.
Yun yung parang inaano ko dati na walang naniniwala na at this age, nakakaramdam na kami ng love. Parang ganun. So, sinulat ko siya through a song. Sinulat ko siya as a song, pero hindi ko na maalala yung melody. Pero yung topic, never ko talaga makalimutan. Kasi hanggang pag iniisip ko yun, girl, di mo alam yung sinabi mo.
No, pero that's very deep for being such a young age.
Oh.
I mean, the idea or the concept of that's like a very deep thought to have.
Talaga ba?
Yeah. That's not cringe at all. Really.
Aw.
So after, okay, you start writing songs, making songs, 9 years old, 10 years old. When does it start to become like something that you're saying, this is what I want to do? Or this is the direction I want to go?
Di, bata pa lang ako, Brett eh.
You knew
Alam
it.
ko na talaga eh. Nanonood ako ng TV. Pag nakakita ko ng mga bata nagpa-perform on TV, lagi ako nagdi-daydream na sana ako yun. Kumakanta siya, kako siya ng mic. Sana ako din. Sana marinig din ng mga tao yung boses ko. So kapag walang tao sa bahay, umaakit ako sa lamesa. Kukunin ko yung brush ng mama ko.
Yep.
Tapos I would sing sa ibabaw ng lamesa. I would perform. Tapos minsan, dumadaan sila, nakikita nila ng mga kapatid ko. Minsan dumadaan yung mama ko, nakikita nila. But I would imagine yung lamesa namin, sa sala namin, stage yan. Kasi sobrang bata pa lang. Pero nung nag-high school ako, syempre, yun na yung era na narinig ko na sina Michelle Branch, Avril Lavigne. Tapos because of yung mga artists na yun, napa-backtrack ako. Alanis Morissette.
Yes.
Tapos yung tatay ko, binilan pa ako ng mga country singers na mga cassette tapes, sina
Mhm.
Trisha Yearwood, Leon Rimes, Martina McBride, lahat ng babae may mga gitara.
Yeah.
Tapos, rising din at that time, Barbie Almalvis, Mojo Fly,
Yes.
Miss Kitchi Nadal.
Yes.
Lalong na-solidify na parang, gusto kong gawin yan. Gusto ko matuto mag-gitara, gusto
Mhm.
kong mag-play ng songs. And sana makapag-play ako ng songs na yung sinulat ko talaga.
Yep.
Kasi ganun yung mga inidolo ko ng time na yun. So yung talaga dun siya talaga mas naging solid.
So when did you pick up the guitar?
Ano ko, 13th birthday ko, yung tatay ko nangutang ng pera para mabilan ako ng gitara. Punta kami ng Riverbank sa Marikina, meron dong bentahan ng mga gitara. Usually naman, pupunta talaga kami doon kasi ang tatay ko nagtatrabaho sa Ateneo de Manila
Mm.
as a librarian. So yung nanay ko, para hindi magselos, susunduin namin si Papa sa work para alam namin na hindi mag-chicks. So at sanay kami na lumalakad lagi.
Yes.
That day, December 3, the day before my birthday, naglalakad kami. Tapos yung tatay ko, sabi niya, tara, pasok tayo dito. Tapos nagtitingin-tingin lang kami. Tapos sabi lang sa akin ng papa ko, oh, pili ka na. Iyak ako.
I love that. Yes.
Tapos yun, tapos pinili ko yung cheapest guitar kasi ayokong magastusan yung tatay
Mhm.
ko. Tapos pina-adjust ko na lang yung fretboard na bumaba. Kasi pag mura yung gitara, mataas yung fretboard.
Yeah.
Mas masakit.
Yes.
Puro paltos yung kamay ko. Tapos pina-adjust ko sa kaibigan ko para ma-play ko right yung gitara. I will never forget that na yung tatay ko nangutang for me. Dahil alam niya na yun yung gusto ko talaga for my birthday. Gusto ko magka-guitar. So, 13 years old.
It seems like you were very supported in the things that you wanted to do. And that love between you and your family is the same because you were also thinking about them like, I don't want you to also spend too much on this because I know that's amazing.
Sobrang grateful ako. I think isa yun sa mga blessing ng life ko na meron akong mga magulang talaga na sinuportahan ako. Even to the point nga na mapupuyat sila just to accompany me sa mga gigs. Kasi sa Marikina, may 3 bars dyan na tinutugtugan ko. Huwag niyo akong gagayahin mga bata, hindi magandang example. Minsan twice a week lang ako nakapasok sa school.
Okay.
Kasi gusto kong tumutugtog. So may
Wow.
schedule ako na 3 days in a week na tumutugtog ako. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Meron akong acoustic band. Meron akong yung show band na variety na tumutugtog ng mga Beyonce.
Yep.
Tapos meron akong rock band on Fridays. I would just play because I just really wanted to. At Brett, ang talent fee ko nun, 250 pesos na 30 songs a night. Kasi ako lang yung vocalista. So, one set, 10 songs. Second set, 10 songs. Third set, 10 songs. Sometimes pag third set, magsasobra pa kami ng time.
Yeah.
Kasi may mga magre-request. Tatanggapin mo yun kasi lasing na sila eh.
Yeah.
Pag lasing yung mga tao, malaki mag-tip. So, yung 250, minsan nakaka-uwi ako, 500 na yung pera ko. Oy, 4 na kilong bigas today. So,
Of
parang,
course.
kami ng mga kabanda ko, nag-overtime kami. So, from 7 ng gabi hanggang minsan mga 4 a.m. ang tugtugan namin sa
Wow.
Marikina. It's memorable sa akin yung lugar na yun.
I had no idea, and I'm loving this story. So, after playing all these places and you're deciding, okay, this is what I want to do, you've known since you're a child, you're playing all these shows, how did you get discovered to get into that reality show?
Sa Marikina din.
That's where it happened.
Dapat taga Marikina na ako, charot.
Yeah.
Kasi tumutugtog kami noon ng rock band ko dito sa pinakadulo ng tulay ng Marikina. Sa mga taga Marikina po, alam nyo to, merong malaking sapatos dyan noon na nakadisplay dahil ang Marikina is known for sapatosan.
Okay.
Sa dulo ng malaking sapatos na yan, display, may bar.
Mm.
For some reason, itong talent agent na to, doon niya pinili sa liblib na sulok ng tulay
Wow.
to tambay that night.
Yeah.
And I was playing kasi Friday siya eh.
Mm-hmm.
So nakita niya ako, at saka titig siya, medyo nakripihan nga ako kasi parang takil nito dito, nakatingin lang ako niya.
What's happening?
Ina-analyze pa pala ako. So after nung set namin, nilapitan niya yung parents ko. Meron pong audition sa ABS-CBN, naghanap sila ng singer-songwriters. Yung anak niyo po ba sumusulat ng kanta?
Wow.
Sabi ni Papa, oo, pero hindi namin, parang di siya sure kung parang up to par ba yung kanta ko.
Mm-hmm.
Sumusulat naman. Pero maayos siyang kumanta. Kita mo naman na nagpa-perform eh, ganyan. Papuntahin niyo sa ganitong day. Pumunta ako, Brit. Puyat din ako nun galing gig. Kasi yung audition day, may gig ako, 4 a.m. uwi ako ng bahay. Kailangan, parang mga 7 a.m. nasa ABS ka na. Yung buhok ko, hindi ko na naliguan. Tapos yung suot ko na, kaya... Uy, monotone din ako. Pero monotone ako dati. Brown na t-shirt, brown na palda na galing ukay hanggang dito. Brown yung medyas ko. Brown yung sapatos ko. Kulang na lang green, may mukha na akong
Rockers.
puno. Pero at that time kasi yung feeling kong cool. So, yun yung
Yeah.
best
Why
na
not?
punta ako puyat. Di na kamaya, walang ligo. Tapos nag-audition ako super, as in, para akong lutang dahil sa
Mm-mm.
puyat. Hindi ko nga alam paano ako natanggap eh. Totoo lang. Tapos ang daming nakapila.
Yeah,
Yung paikot ng EBS.
of course.
Yung pila, ganun kahaba.
Especially those times, I bet.
Mm.
Oh my.
6 a.m., nandun ako. Parang sumalang ako mga lubog na yung araw. Ganun kahaba yung audition. It was really, super, super lucky, I think blessed na nakita niya ako that night. Kasi dapat hindi siya doon tatambay.
Yeah.
hindi yung bar na pupuntahan niya that night. Pero napili niya lang nung gabi na yun. So, di pasok ako dito. Tapos nakita niya ako. Doon na nag-start yun na mag-audition ako and to be in the industry.
It just seems like this life was meant for you. So whether it happened like that or another way it would have happened, seems like that.
Sana.
You know, yeah, and of course you went on to win that reality
Energy
show,
Maki,
of
yeah.
course, and then after, right, how many different hits. First time I would arrive in the Philippines, I would hear Hawak Kamay everywhere. It was just everywhere. It's all over my high school. It's all over. Everyone's playing it. And then you go on to keep writing music. You've put out so many different albums. I'd like to know, for you, what are your top 3 songs that mean the most to you throughout your career?
Mahirap na tanong yan.
Yeah.
Kasi, syempre, lahat ng kanta ko, even yung mga kantang hindi ko napasikat, tapos fillers lang sa
That's
album, they're
fine.
really special to me.
That's what I want to know. Tell me which ones are those.
Of course, hindi mo mawala yung Hawak Kamay.
Of course.
Yan talaga yung song na laging sinasabi, ito yung naging susi ko in the industry.
Yes.
Para maka-stay and to be known and magkaroon ng fans.
Mm-hmm.
Pero when I look back, I love Lapit, I love Ikaw, of course. Siguro sa personal na journey ko lang, no?
Yes.
Pero sa
Here we go.
personal na journey, pero as an artist, I think isa sa mga natuwa ako na kanta na ginawa ko is yung Jeepney Love Story.
Okay.
Sobrang cheesy, no? Pero sobrang kasi yun yung nagsisymbolize ng katapangan ko bilang artist. Kita ko si Raymond Marasigan naglalakad sa Metro Walk. Naglalakad si Kuya Raym sa Metro Walk. Nasa car ako, umaandar pa yung kotse. Sabi ko, manong, tumigil ka, wait lang. Kasi hindi naintindihan ng driver ko, ha. Binuksan ko yung pinto. Bumaba ako. Pero hindi naman yung sobrang bilis ng car. Parang dahan-dahan lang, bumaba ako. Sir Rames!
Yeah.
Taas ng kamay, ano ka? Nasa klase. Sir Rames! Tingin siya, oy, parang di niya pa ako masyado namukhaan. Wala akong makeup din, hindi ako mo artista. Sabi ko, Yeng, how are you? Kuya Rames, gawa tayo ng album.
Yes.
Raymond
Just go for
Marasigan,
it.
out of nowhere, may bata na, hello sir, gawa tayo ng album. Sabi niya, sige, schedule tayo.
That does sound
Punta
like
ka sa bahay, gawa tayong demo.
Oo.
Bilis. Bro, ang pera ko lang sa bank account ko at that time. Kasi, alam ng mga tao, syempre yung hawak kamay, di ba? Sumikat yan ng sobre.
Yeah.
Pero, to be honest, hindi ako marunong mag-handle ng money
Yes.
nung first years ng career ko.
Mm-hmm.
So, syempre, dami nang nabili ng mga bagay, yung premyo mo, nawaldas mo, tsaka, syempre, bigay ka sa parents mo,
Yes, of
bumili
course.
kayo ng lupa, ganyan. May time kasi after hawak kamay, parang 1 year akong walang hit song. So, pati gigs ko, medyo
Yep.
konti lang din. Nung nilapitan ko si Kuya James, ang pera ko lang nun sa bank account, 3,000 pesos.
Mhm.
Wala akong pambayad sa kanya.
Yeah.
And yung unang kanta na pinarinig ko sa kanya is Jeepney Love Story. Bukod sa tapang ko na magpakilala sa kanya sa parking lot at i-ask siya na gumawa ng album, yung lakas lang din ang loob ko na yung rockstar na to, parinig ako ng Jeepney Love Story. Yung batang to, ang lakas ng loob, na yung cheesy niyang kanta, tungkol sa kilig, tungkol sa ayoko nang pumara kung ikaw ang kasama, pinarinig ko sa idol ko. And yun yung sa akin sobrang meaningful nun eh. Kung babalik ako in time, parang sasabihin ko sa iyang na yun, thank you, tapang mo naman. So to me, one yan. One is Hawak Kamay. Pangalawa is Jeepney Love Story. Pangatlo, siguro emotional naman ang tanong. Lapit. Oo. Siguro kasi, nung time na sinusulat ko yung song na yun, sobra akong dilim na person. Somehow, God has a way of encouraging me kapag sumusulat ako ng kanta. So, nung time na yun, nagdadaan ako sa sobrang angst, may anger, merong pain, meron kang mga bagay na hindi maintindihan. So, when I wrote Lapit, pinapakinggan ko siya, nung sinusulat ko, it was as if God was talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya yun yung words ng, kailangan ko kumalma, wait lang. Pangit kasi ako umiyak, gusto ko maganda ako sa camera. yung words ng chorus, yung, lapit sa akin at huwag matakot ka, papawiin ang luha, ulan ay titila na. It was just really, something na sobrang nagbigay ng hope sa akin at that time. It was a wonder how God can speak to you through your art.
Yes.
Yun, at that time. So, Hawak Kamay, because it was the key for me in the industry. Jeepney Love Story, kasi ang tapang ng batang yun. And third, Lapit, because tinawid ako ng kantang yun sa mga darkest moments of my life.
Yep.
Billboard, masobra na kayo. Charot.
I love that so much. I
Mhm.
mean, Hawak Kamay is, again, it reminds me of 9-year-old Yang, because the idea of it and the message that you were trying to say is so universal. It's such a big idea. It's such a big concept. And that's why I think it spoke to so many people. And then going over to Jeepney Love Story, why I think Raymond really would love that song is because you're telling me, oh, is it maybe cheesy or kilig? I don't think that at all. I think it's, again, a universal type of song, because how many people really, I took a jeepney going to school in Dumaguete every day. I would see someone like, that could be me. I understand that. That's why I think it related. Again, how many artists now are speaking about QC, like Zild, or any of these people are talking about going to school, falling in love. These are all things that happen. Again, and Raymond would go to that song and he always wants to do new types of music and think these things, and you come into him like that, I can see why he would say yes. And then third, speaking to you, or maybe speaking through you. And those words are coming out of you. You're having a time in your life, but you're getting through it through song in the way that you know how. It makes so much sense. And those 3 songs, for them to be so special to you and so special to everyone, it's just such a... I'm so happy about today.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I love that.
Thank you.
I guess where I'd like to take this conversation next is that a lot of times songs or lyrics change in meaning over time. You've been doing reimagined versions of your songs. How Hawak Kamay, Jeepney, Love Story, and Lapit meant to you back then, have they changed in meaning for you today?
Definitely. Yung Hawak Kamay, may moment na kinausap ko si Tito Gary about it eh. Kasi sabi ko, Tito Gary, how do you do it when you sing your songs? Like, di bale na lang kaya, or Take Me Out of the Dark, My Lord. Pero parang kinakanta mo siya for the first time. Kasi may time na parang, Tito, parang napapagod na ako kantahin yung Hawak Kamay. Yun na lang po lagi yung kinakanta ko. Tapos, sobrang sarap lang ng affirmation na parang sabi ni Tito Gary sa akin, ako din naman. What? Really? Ba't di ko nahahalata? You know, Yeng, sabi ni Tito Gary, na parang kailangan mo talagang hanapin sa heart mo yung posisyon ng audience kapag pinapanood ka nila. So, kung hindi mo siya kayang kantahin as Yeng, ilagay mo yung posisyon mo sa fan mo na first time nila marinig yun ng live from you.
Yes.
So, sa akin, when I sing Hawak Kamay now, kinakanta ko siya in mind na yung isang youngster sa audience, first time niyang maririnig yun.
Exactly.
So, iba yung karga nun sa heart ko. Kasi dati, I sing it, parang, wow! Katuparan to ng dream ko. Panoorin niyo ako. Ang cute ko, no? Hoy!
Yeah.
Joke lang. Pero parang may ganun. Pero ngayon, when I sing it as a gift. I sing it na kinakanta ko to kasi, wow! Ang layo na pinagaling mo pumunta ka today just to hear this song na maaaring naging parte ng buhay mo. So, kinakanta ko na siya bilang regalo. For Jeep na Love Story, lagi ang intention ko when I sing that song, syempre di na ako teenager, di ba? Tsaka yung love na alam ko with my husband is so different from,
Of course.
ayoko ng pangalan. Maanong driver. Hindi na yun eh. Pero ang nasa heart ko is ang intention ko is to always bring back yung mga high school and elementary at that time to their childhood na.
Yes.
So parang ako, ang intention ko, naalala nyo ba to? Sumakay ako sa jeepney. And when I hear them, naalala mo yung crush mo? Oh, di ba? yung feeling na yun, to take them back, to feel yung childlikeness na yun in their heart. So, sa akin ganun na yung intention. With Lapit, yan talaga song na yun, pag kinakanta ko, intention ko lagi, siguro ayun yung theme eh. It's always, the intention when I perform these songs. Parang worship song ko siya kinakanta. Pag part ng set ko, I always have this feel sa beginning na I know na nandito kayong lahat ngayong gabi pero maaaring may mga tao dito na may pinagdadaanan tonight. And as much as this song has healed me at that time na sinulat ko to, I hope that you will feel yung healing na yon and that someone is with you even in the moment that you feel na walang nandyan para sa'yo. And I will start singing it. Lapit sa akin at huwag matakot ka. I still get emotional but because I'm not in that season of my life na parang sobrang dilim, naiyak ako o medyo minsan naging emotional ako pag kinakanta ko yun ng live. Kasi parang alam mo na ikaw na yung nasa end na nagbibigay and dati hindi ikaw yun eh. Ikaw yung nanghihingi. Ako yung nanghihingi eh. And what an honor it is to be in this position that I can give now kasi I'm filled and abundant with this fullness in my heart. So parang ganun na yung ibig sabihin sa akin now.
Didn't know we were gonna get like this today. Okay. Let's bring it back. Let's go to the future. So right now, we've talked about how your songwriting process have changed through the years, and what is it like now writing music? How does it come? How do you do it now?
To be honest, syempre, it's very different yung landscape ng industry natin ngayon and I celebrate what's happening in the industry. Hindi ganun ang panahon namin.
Yeah.
Ngayon, makikita mo yung mga bata, grabe, no? Sobrang nasa top ng mga charts, OPM na, hindi na foreign acts. Parang, meron pa rin naman, pero ang laki ng market. Yung parang pinapangarap, bakit sa Japan, grabe, no? Kapag yung local artist nila, pag nag-show, grabe, puno yung arena. Bakit ganun sa Korea, ganun? Andun na tayo ngayon.
Yes.
But the reality is, sobrang dami ng mga singer-songwriters ngayong panahon na to. Dalawa yan eh. I can choose to be discouraged and scared na, oh my gosh, siguro wala na ako maibubuga. Baka nailabas ko na lahat. Lahat ng mga songs na kaya ko ilabas. Na totoo namang naramdaman ko. Baka ano na tayo, dapit hapon na, pa-sundown na girl, parang may ganyang moment ako. Pero pangalawa, or I can just enjoy kung ano yung hard work na nilagay ng younger self ko para mapunta ako sa posisyon na to ngayon. And kahit pinagdaanan ko yung one, I still chose yung pangalawa to
Yep.
just enjoy. Kasi pag inalaw ko, Brett, yung mga negativity na parang, oh my gosh, di ko kaya sumulat ng ganyan. Oh my gosh, yung poetry ng mga bata ngayon. Saan sila humukay? Sino bang tatay nila? Si Ray Valera? Sino to? Sino mentor mo si Canseco? Mababaliw ako. Di. I know who I am as an artist. And nandun ako sa point in my life na ini-enjoy ko yung proseso ko ng pagsusulat. There are times na parang 4 months, 8 months na wala ako nasusulat. Biglang isang buwan, 10 kanta.
Yep.
Sobrang present lang ako. Kung hindi season, kung hindi panahon ng mangga, huwag mong pitasin, maasim. Ganun siya sa akin eh. So parang, kung nasa season ka, to just absorb and experience life, dun lang tayo. And
Yes.
pag season na ulit, to be fruitful, being creative, and just writing, be present in that moment. Wala na yung pressure. Wala na. And I'm so grateful with my husband na nire-remind niya ako palagi pag minsan, konting nagtitilt, pag madrama ako. Well, artist kasi ako, so madrama ako in general. But, kailangan ako ma-align. Tapos meron akong mga kaibigan na ganun din. Eric Santos, kaibigan ko na yun, nire-remind ako lagi, yan, grabe, no? Andito pa rin tayo. Oo,
The
yun
truth.
yun eh. Andito pa rin tayo.
truth.
And we get to enjoy the industry and still entertain people. That's what's important. Pangatlo, meron akong, siguro ito yung parang maraming bagay sa industriya na ito na importante to succeed. But if you are with the wrong company, parang leech na magda-dry out ng creativity and inspiration mo. So I'm
True.
so grateful that I'm with Tito Pag-a-advertise to be in the right talent management
Yes.
with Cornerstone. The team, our head, Kuya Erickson, my handler, Miss Cynthia, and the people that I'm surrounded with in our office. Yung openness lang nila, parang, minsan kasi, rin ako yung gusto ko talagang gawin to. At times siguro, sa point of view ng management, di ba, parang di mo maintindihan, kakastos na naman si Akla. Pero gusto ko gawin.
Yeah.
Support, all out,
Yes.
andun talaga. Bigyan ka ng staff, bigyan ka ng o sige, paano natin bibenta yung idea mo? Kasi andun ka eh, to be supported creatively, and also, yung may magsasabi sa'yo kapag at times nabubulag ka na sa maliliwanag na ilaw ng industriyang ito, na hindi mo makita kung ano ba yung nagmamatter. Yung honesty nila, ng mga kaibigan ko, ng asawa ko, ng management, talagang binabalik ako. Yun eh. Yun yung importante sa lahat.
True.
So I just get to enjoy that. Andun na ako sa point ng buhay ko na yun na gratefulness. Grabe to. Ang ganda ng industriya kung nasan tayo.
Yes.
Maraming tao magsasabi parang, show business? Showbiz lang yun eh. Maraming plastic dyan eh. Sobrang amazing ng mga tao sa industriya natin. And when I say that, sobrang buong buo. I get to meet Casey Tandingan na mas bata sa akin pero tinuturuan ako. Di, pag umakyat tayo, kailangan 500%. Grabe yung pressure,
Very
di ba?
hurt.
Bilang ate, di ba? Pero tama si Casey, go tayo guys. Push natin. Kasi galing lang namin ng tour. You get to meet Eric Santos. Uy, kailangan, pag may audience tayo, bigay natin yung best natin. Kailangan maganda tayo, discipline tayo, workout tayo nga, workout din tayo. Yung, may ganun talaga. Meron akong Angeline Quinto na magsasabi sa akin na, punta rin ng party, hindi yung laging kang introverted, nasa bahay ka lang, ha?
Yeah.
Amazing, di ba? Kasi iba-iba kasi gifts ng mga tao sa industry. And if you see yung gold sa bawat tao, grabe. Naging better akong person because sa mundo nating ito. Grabe, di ba? Sobrang amazing nun. Kung, halimbawa, hindi ko natupad yung pangarap ko, magiging ermitanyo kung sa bundok ako, nakakulong, hindi ko ma-experience ang lahat na ito. And for that, I'm just really, grateful ako. I'm so grateful.
Well, I mean, I think you've always walked the line where there is an, let's say, artista side to it. But I think, well, me and I think a lot of people look at you more on the musician side of things, where I'm not saying they're different, but I'm saying I've always looked at you as a singer-songwriter, and the music side of things has always been what I've known you as and what I've thought of you as. And I think so many of your fans and people that follow your story look at you the same way. And you've been saying here that when you sing your older catalog, you're singing it for the people that support you, but also people that are hearing it for the first time. But you still have so much to say. And a lot of artists that come on here say, I don't know if there's a place for me. There's a lot of new people. I think it's always going to be like that. But you have so much to say, and there's so many people and new people that will be ready to hear that or want to hear that. So I guess the next question is, when are we getting a new album?
New album! New songs na lang muna. Na-pressure ako, Brett. Pero ang dami kong,
Konting pressure naman.
naramdaman ko yung pressure. Pero marami akong nasulat.
There we
Last
go.
year, noong 2023, and then this year, some songs, like, nag-release ako. Sa mga hindi pa nakakarinig ng Babala, it was really my first time to explore yung angry side of my heart.
Yes?
It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wala naman, di man ako galit talaga na person. Pero nung sinulat ko tayong, grabe, ganun
Oh, why
pala
not?
yun.
Mm-hmm.
And sa age ko na to, and 17 years na ako sa industry, no, parang may mga things pa rin ako na nagagawa na parang, wow, ang sarap naman ma-experience
Yes.
nun. So may mga songs ako ngayon, nag-explore ako ng different colors of emotions.
Mhm.
Siguro, yun yung, yun din yung perks of being an adult. I don't wanna say old.
Yeah.
An adult, di ba? Dami nating na-experience na grief, pain, longing, ganyan. And
In a
yun yung
different way.
Yes. Sobrang sarap niyang ilagay sa kanta. And sana po abangan nyo yung mga ilalabas kong single. Paisa-isa man po, at least naglabas pa man din. Oo.
That is true. I think please let it out. A sakit of a lot of artists is they have a bunch of songs, and because they have a lot of songs, they just don't ever put it out. We want the new music. So please give it to us. We've got to see you grow up in this industry and give yourself and give your music for how long. We have that, but we want more. Sorry.
Ang sarap naman sa feeling nun. Thank you.
Oo.
Salamat.
I know the whole team is excited for new music and more of what you have to come in your career. This isn't an end or even a middle. This is just a new beginning. We're all excited. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you.
This has been Billboard Philippines Volumes with Yang Constantino.
Thank you, Billboard. Thank you, Brett. Sobrang thank you.
Thank you so much.
Billboard Philippines.